Welcome to this quick demonstration of Hear Me Now, which covers the setup of the app and an overview of the key features. Hear Me Now is a communication tool which helps those with learning disabilities, dementia and other cognitive impairments better communicate with the people they come into contact with in their daily lives. Hear Me Now was co-produced with people with learning disabilities, their families, carers and clinical staff. Maldaba received initial funding from NHS England and SBRI in 2014 to design a proof of concept. Using the conceptual model of boxes, users of the app can group key information about themselves, information about their friends and family, their hobbies, or specific information regarding certain medical conditions, such as speech therapy exercises. This information can be added as words, pictures, video, audio, and web links. Users can take pictures of their daily activities or record video or audio in an environment more comfortable for them. For example, when giving feedback to a member of staff. Boxes can then be shared with carers, friends, family, a member of staff, or whoever else they want to, with complete control over who has access to each box. Let's get started with the app setup. Search for Hear Me Now app in the App Store on your Google or Apple device. Install the app and then open it. New users will see the registration setup screen where you add your email address and a password which you'll need to repeat. Existing users can use the login button. I'll add some information here to start the registration process. Then press the Setup Hear Me Now button. You'll see a message asking you to allow access to images and other files on your device. To add pictures and other content types into the app, this needs to be agreed to, so I'll press Allow. You'll now be asked to add your full name, and if you have a preferred name, you can also add this too. I'll put in Fred James and Freddie, and then select the next button to continue. To help identify you to others, you can also add a picture using the camera on your device or using an existing image saved on your device. In this case, I'll add a picture I took recently. Select Choose Picture, browse on your device to the picture you want to use, and select it. You can then go to the next section using the Next button. At this point, we add details of the main carer for the app user. This is useful for identification purposes, should they need to be contacted in an emergency, but also so that the app user can share content with them. We'll talk about sharing content later. I've added some details for Freddie's dad. This is his name, his email address, which is used for sharing, and also his relationship to Freddie. Then click Next. The final step is to give consent to allow for certain data to be collected. We'd recommend you read the consent message as part of the setup, but for the purpose of this demo, we'll select Yes, I consent. As this is a demo, we'll skip over the different options for granting access to Hear Me Now and select Start Your Free Trial, which for Android users gives full access for 30 days. This now sets up Hear Me Now. This is the start screen for Hear Me Now, where you access your content grouped into boxes. Boxes comes from a co-production Maldaba did with Humber Teaching NHS Foundation Trust. Boxes are a good conceptual model that people with learning disabilities are already familiar with and understand that you put things into those boxes. Let's start adding some content. Using the plus icon, we're shown the 5 content types. To start with, we'll add a picture. As we don't have any boxes yet, first we need to create a box, so we'll select New Box. We need to give it a name, so for this I'm going to create a box about my family, which I'll call My Family. To help identify the box, we have the option to add an image. We could take a photo, but in this case, we'll choose one from the device. We then save the box. As we selected picture as the type of content we wanted to add, we now decide if we want to choose an existing picture or take a new one with the camera. We'll choose an existing picture of when we went to London. We'll choose the picture of Big Ben. We can add a description, so I'll add some text about Big Ben. Then click Save. As you can see, we've now added a picture of Big Ben to the My Family box, and we also have a description of the picture. Let's create a second box about my new speech therapy exercises. As before, we'll use the plus icon in the bottom corner. We're then going to add a link to a YouTube video that my speech therapist gave me. As this is a new box, we'll use New Box. As before, we're going to choose a picture, and I'm going to browse to this picture of a mouth. And that's the new box created, so I'll do Save New Box. My speech therapist gave me a link to a YouTube video. We can take a link from YouTube and add it to this box. I then don't have to search around on YouTube to find it. I can just link to it every time I do my exercises. And then save. As we can see, we've now moved to the speech therapy box, and if I click on the link, it will open YouTube and we can see the video being played. One final aspect of box content we want to mention is the text-to-speech option. You can see I've added some extra pictures in here. If you press the grey speaker icon, the device will talk the text back to you. The benefits of text-to-speech are that it gives access to your content to a much wider audience, such as those with literacy difficulties, learning disabilities, and those with reduced vision. You can also use your device's speech recognition to add text-based content into Hear Me Now. Next, we'll look at About Me. Hear Me Now comes with a pre-installed box, About Me. If you select the three dots at the top right-hand corner, this shows some additional options, and About Me is listed here. This guides the person, together with whoever is supporting them, to enter essential baseline information about themselves and their needs. About Me follows the Professional Record Standards Body About Me Information Standard, which Maldaba helped to co-produce and was one of the first to implement. This is the one part of the app whose structure is the same for all app users and should contain essential information if the vulnerable person is meeting people who don't already know them, such as urgent care. It is broken down into 7 key categories. Freddie is going to the dentist next week and may become agitated in certain stressful situations and struggle to communicate, so information about how he can be put at ease can be added into the relevant section. For help with identifying which type of content should be put into each section, we also include a guide with examples which can be accessed using the question mark from the sidebar. As a way of auditing the About Me section, detail can also be included to identify who helped enter the About Me information. As well as the person's name, the timestamp is recorded to ensure the information is kept up to date and relevant. The information added to About Me can include all the media types available to other boxes in the app. My Week is a useful tool to help users identify what they're doing now and next. We select the 3 dots at the top right hand corner and then My Week. As before, we'll use the plus icon to add an entry. Let's do that now. In this case, we'll add that Freddie is going to the cinema with his family tomorrow afternoon. We select which day, we'll choose tomorrow. We select the time of day, we'll choose the afternoon, and we can associate a picture. So I'll do choose picture, and then I've got one here of the cinema. We then have the option to add a category, so we can filter how some of these are displayed in the My Week list. And as this is a family related one, I'll choose the family category. We then select Add Entry. This takes us back to the current day, and if we then use the arrows to move to tomorrow, we can see the entry we just added. Let's now look at sharing in Hear Me Now. We added Freddie's dad as the main carer in the app setup. If we now look at the contacts, we can see where Freddie's dad's details are recorded. We select the three dots towards the top right, then Contacts. Here we can see the details we added in the setup process. If we want to add another contact, we do that here. We can share different boxes with different contacts. If we press the picture of Freddie at the top left, it takes us back to the start and the list of boxes. To share, we have a special icon directly above the edit icon. If we select that, we can then choose which boxes we'd like to share. If we select the box, we then see a list of all the contacts we have in the app. I'm going to choose My Family. As you can see, we only have one contact, which is Arthur, which is Freddie's dad, so I'm going to select that. We then choose Continue, and as we can see, we get a message saying that the box has been shared with Arthur, Freddie's dad. If we then press the share icon again, it'll then return back to the normal view. Let's have a look at what we've just shared. To do this, we go to the Hear Me Now website, hearmenowapp.com. From there, at the top right hand corner, there is a green remote login button. For this demo, I've already created a login for Freddie's dad. Having logged in as Freddie's dad, on the left we can see the app users are sharing content, and on the right we can see a list of all the recent activity in reverse order for all the app users. If we scroll down a bit, we can look at how Freddie added content to the My Family box. The box was created, with the picture and the descriptions added, a couple more pictures were added, and then Freddie shared the box. From this view, the remote user is able to add content into boxes. For example, the speech therapist might use the remote interface to ask for feedback on how the speech therapy exercises are progressing. If granted permission, the remote user can also see when boxes are accessed by the app user, perhaps to see if the exercises are being done at the correct time of day. Using the inbuilt questionnaires feature, Hear Me Now allows a member of staff to get feedback from users of Hear Me Now. One use is the pre-annual health check questionnaire, which is typically around 50 questions. This example shows how we built up a pre-annual health check questionnaire. As you can see, varying question types are accommodated with single selection, multiple choice, all of them with easy read images. For the pre-annual health check, the time to complete was reduced by 50% compared to a paper-based format. Other uses might include getting feedback on the new fish and chips on the menu, or just to get insight into how someone is currently feeling. All done at the user's convenience. That concludes this demonstration of the setup and key features of Hear Me Now, and we thank you for your interest. For more information, visit hearmenowapp.com, email support@hearmenowapp.com, or call 07866 462 710. We look forward to hearing from you. Hear Me Now was co-produced with people with learning disabilities, their families, carers, and clinical staff. Maldaba received initial funding from NHS England and SBRI in 2014 to design a proof of concept.